There I am. You can hear me now. I know. I'm starting to forget that little detail. Hi, TJ McCormick. Sing the word. And without further ado, let's get to work. Your testimonies are wonderful. Therefore, my soul observes them. The unfolding of your words give life. It gives understanding to the simple. I opened my mouth and wide and panted, for I longed for. As you know, sometimes I don't get the song quite right the first time. I want to start this over. TJ McCormick, sing the word unfolding. Your testimonies are wonderful, therefore my soul observes them. The unfolding of your words gives life. It gives understanding to the simple. I opened my mouth wide and panted, for I longed for your commandments. Turn to me and be gracious to me after your manner with those who love your name. Establish my footsteps in your word and do not let any iniquity have dominion over me. Your testimonies are wonderful, therefore my soul observes them. The unfolding of your words gives life. It gives understanding to the simple. I opened my mouth wide and panted, for I longed for your commandments. Turn to me and be gracious to me after your manner with those who love your name. Establish my footsteps in your word and do not let any iniquity have dominion over me. Establish my footsteps in your word and do not let any iniquity have dominion over me. A little rough takeoff there. TJ, I don't know why you can see everything. It's actually really cool. Now you can see the whole uke except my little head. By the way, not sponsored by, but love close guitars, full carbon fiber and hybrid carbon fiber instruments. They make travel guitars. They make guitars that you can tear apart and put back together. They make ukuleles, which I am playing right now. This is full carbon fiber, and I just love this thing. It's amazing. But enough of that. Let's talk God's Word. And folks, I made some really good coffee, so I think I'm going to enjoy some. And not sponsored by Taylor Guitars, but I love Taylor Guitars. I currently own a baby Taylor, thanks to my wonderful wife who gave it to me as a birthday present. Guys, if you don't have a wife who gives you guitars for birthday presents, I'm so sorry because I have one. Your testimonies are wonderful. I think we could just stop there. Isn't it funny how there's these showstopper lines? Look at that. Your testimonies are wonderful. 4 words and bam! God's testimonies, the things spoken of God, the thing God speaks to us, things God speaks to us, are wonderful. What's a wonder? Like 7 wonders of the world? You got the Sphinx, you got the Great Wall of China. No, those aren't wonderful. They're amazing, they're kind of cool, but God's testimonies are way more wonderful. And yes, you can be way more wonderful. Therefore, my soul observes them. Lives filled with God's law and obedience to God's law will have wonderful, wonderful lives. And because of that, your soul observes them. And that's the cool thing. This is the name of the song, and I just love this idea. And in the notes I gave you, I'll tell you in a second. The unfolding of your words gives light. Now, packages, you want to open a package. You might just want to say, what's inside here? And so you're unwrapping it, okay? And that seems to be the big term of the day. Everyone wants to. Let's unpack. Let's unwrap. Let's let's see what's inside this idea, this concept. But the unfolding of your words, God's word, gives light. In other words, read the Bible, sing the word, do whatever it takes. Get the words of God into your heart and then ask God to unfold them. And that's going to be the prayer at the end of this thing. So it gives understanding to the simple. And I'm kind of confused sometimes about, their pronoun use. It's like they give understanding was what I would say, but this is God's word. And again, we don't call God's word ugly. We don't call the baby ugly because we know it's God's word. I opened my mouth wide and panted. Sometimes when I sing, I have to get a big breath because I run out of breath really easily. For I longed for your commandments. This is the thing that a lot of us don't understand. How could these people be so needy? Not needy. They can't survive without God's word. It's like, oh man, I need God's word. It's like me, I need a cup of coffee. But this isn't what we're talking about here. This is life and death. This is the soul fighting for righteousness and uprightness. I open my mouth wide. That's a hard thing to say. I open my mouth wide. I open my mouth wide and panted, for I longed for your commandments. It's a mouthful, but one more time. I opened my mouth wide and panted, for I longed for your commandments. Desire God's word. Desire the world less. Desire God's word more in your life. And yeah, I've read that before. No. Once you get old like me, once you get past 40 years of being in the Bible, you're going to start saying, what? God, why did you hide that from me for all these years? You start seeing these treasures. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now, because honestly, I've never really gone through Psalm 119 as in depth as I have these past few weeks. So turn to me and be gracious to me. Now, this is where the psalmist is talking to God. So, God, turn to me and be gracious to me after your manner with those who love your name. Wow, this is a lot of unfolding, and I don't have the time, but I just want to let you know. It's a prayer. It's a, God, help me. Be gracious to me. And again, there's that word grace. It's unmerited favor. It's the idea that I screwed up, but you know what? At least I'm going to be honest about it. And at least I'm going to be humble. And then I'm going to recognize all the things that you spoke to me, God, are true. And all the ideas that I've had that take me away from you are just, you know, what's at the bottom of the honey pot, if you will. It's like, you know, there's nothing else but God's word. There's nothing else but following God, serving God, being a part of God's tribe, if you will. I'm sorry, I'm using all these corporate terms. I'm stuck in corporateville. I have to live through it. Establish my footsteps in your word, and do not let any iniquity have dominion over me. No, let God have dominion over you, and let iniquity no longer control you. I got time for one more lap. Let's go. Your testimonies are wonderful, therefore my soul observes them. The unfolding of your words gives light. It gives understanding to the simple. I opened my mouth wide and panted, for I longed for your commandments. Turn to me and be gracious to me, after your manner, with those who love your name. Establish my footsteps in your word, and do not let any iniquity have dominion over me. Establish your footsteps in your word. Establish my footsteps in your word, and do not let any iniquity have dominion over me. Well, I have an announcement. You ready? well in you richly in all wisdom, teaching, admonishing one another with psalms, hymns, spiritual songs. That's the big three: psalms, hymns, spiritual songs. Singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord. Whoa, I went overtime. Very sorry. We'll see you tomorrow.